Welcome back guys. We'll be trying out the Chieftain 900 today and I wanna see for myself what this thing actually brings to the table and where it still falls flat. Because let's be real, even with all the changes they've slapped onto it, this is still a Chieftain at heart. Same silhouette, same feel, and unfortunately, that massive driver viewport weak spot staring right at you. So in this video, I'm just gonna go over how it plays, what it actually does well, what holds it back, and how you can use it without getting deleted in 2 seconds. The first thing that stands out when you drive the Chief 900 is the engine. Compared to the other Chieftains, this thing actually moves. You're not breaking records or anything crazy, but the extra horsepower makes a little difference when you're trying to shift in positions or getting into a better firing spot. It doesn't feel stuck in the mud anymore. It still feels heavy, but at least it listens when you tell it to move. The gun setup is still the classic L11. Reliable, consistent, and very comfortable to use. Basically, the gun is the one part of this tank that never disappoints. It hits hard, it behaves predictably, and as long as you pick your shots, you'll get work done. Now, let's talk armor. And this is where the frustration hits. They added extra plating, more slope, a more aggressive shape, and for a second you might think, hey, this could actually tank something. But then, your eyes go straight to that driver's viewport and all the hope leaves your body. That thing is huge. That spot is a giant weak area, and because it's so exposed and so obvious, everything else on the front doesn't really matter. You can angle it, sure. You can pray to RNG, but if someone knows what they're doing, that viewport is the first place they're aiming. The armor isn't completely worthless though, okay? If you manage to hide that section and force people to shoot either the upper cheeks or the turret, this thing can bounce a surprising amount of rounds. But the moment you show too much of the hull, you're done. Survivability really depends on whether you control the engagement. If you're exposing your hull and driving straight into people, you're not gonna last long. But if you stick to smart positions where your front hull is covered and only the turret is visible, the 900 becomes much harder to deal with. The turret profile isn't perfect, but it's tough enough to survive long enough for you to fire back, and since the gun handles well, you usually win the trades if you shoot first. It's not a tank where you take hits and shrug them off. It's a tank where you avoid the dumb fights and punish the people who challenge you in your terms. The way I play the Chieftain 900 is pretty simple. I treat it like a sniper with better mobility. I look for spots where I can hide the hull, pick with just the turret, and pick people off with accurate shots. The rangefinder helps a lot in those moments. When players think distance will save them, it won't. So the flow is usually the same. Take a strong position, land your shot, pull back, reposition if needed, and repeat. When someone makes the mistake of overpicking or giving you a clear angle, that's where the gun does its job and deletes them instantly. But on this video, most of the gameplay footage is me brawling with the enemies at the front lines because that's really my playstyle. And I guess if you know what you're doing enough, it can get pretty reliable, especially with that extra horsepower. But most of the time, I immediately get destroyed. So it's still the king at long range engagement and I'd say at medium engagement as well. If you enjoy the classic Chieftain playstyle, slow, precise, terrain dependent, then the 900 fits right into your comfort zone. You're basically getting a Chieftain that finally has enough engine power to not feel miserable. But if you want something fast, aggressive, or forgiving, this ain't it. You're going to get punished if you expose the hull, and you're definitely going to get punished if you drive into open ground, thinking the armor buff turned it into a mini challenger. My final take, the Chieftain 900 is a solid improvement over the old lineup, but it's still chained down by the exact same issues the Chieftain family has always had. The mobility buff is nice, the firepower is dependable, and it feels good when you play it smart. But that driver viewport weak spot ruins so much potential. If you treat it like a long-range control tank and not a frontline brute, you'll have fun. The gun rewards good aim, the turret can hold, and the mobility gives you a little more freedom to maneuver between shots. Just remember, cover the hull, pick your fights, and don't rely on armor that simply isn't going to save you. So yeah, if you enjoy the Chieftain playstyle, this thing will feel right at home. But if you don't, this won't really change your mind. But played correctly, it absolutely delivers.